Alright, well, this is Nathaniel Jerome doing uh, Draw My Life on stage, pretty much. So, first off, to be said, I I got into choir through my sister, so, uh, uh, she's not that big. Oh, okay. Alright, make sure. Yeah. I make very extravagant, like, movements when I'm drawing, and I'm not the best at MS Paint, but I'm going to take what I can get. And she's always been in choir for all of high school, so she always told me that it would probably be a good thing to go into choir because it wouldn't be that hard, you know. So I didn't see any reason not to. Uh, and a good way to adjust was in my um for most middle school and elementary school, you kind of just have stage where everyone has to set up and present. And I'll be honest, you all know that they didn't sound the greatest, but they all were presenting the best that they could. Let's see, we're just going to, we're just gonna use you. And it was like a whole army of people who just sounded like dead birds. Oh, if it only got better, you know? But um, these years were kind of, I mean, they weren't bad. They were just kind of boring. You kind of just had to deal with choir no matter whether you liked it or not, and it really didn't bring out anything eventful or fun. More or less, just kind of made it kind of a little bit boring. So we're just gonna slide over to the side here. Uh, let's see. Uh, yep. All of these concerts just were based on being forced to do so because the school needed kids in choir and all their electives, so they just stuck every kid into every elective. Um, with it all being forced, so not really the greatest situation. Then we come to high school, so big building, big people, new stuff. Uh, yeah. Supposedly able to teach better, though really secondhand to be almost exactly like a person would be. Let's see. The choir there wasn't that bad. It was more formal, I would say. So it's not like too bad. It wasn't like we were in an auditorium either, where we were just sitting in a cafeteria making echoes. So we could hear the echoes, and it would repeat back, and it would cause a lot of issues with trying to sing. Okay. And then, but the first couple years, it seemed to be a little bit of a problem, being that uh, it was only just starting out, as I had joined this high school called A A for the first time that it was opening in this location, and it wasn't bad per se. It was just rough. With the first concert, we didn't really know um how to do it. We had kazoos, you know, weird instrument where you can blow into it and make sounds. And we were kind of made fun of for it, but it's not like it wasn't. It was all in good harm or good fun. It was nothing. No, it was harmless. It was just like because we had to perform it for the entire school. So second concert was they wanted to do more like an acting kind of musical. So 100%. Like they wanted us to like act out this entire scene at first and then start singing. And I don't know. It was more awkward than anything because it just felt like a bunch of 13-year-olds who didn't really know where to fit in. Let's see. Like, because most of us were hidden off stage, like right here. This is where we were. And then there was two. And then after a little bit, then people would start moving in. So it was very cluttered. It was more of a mess than anything else. They tried to organize it the best they could, but then again, we're also eighth graders and we barely know anything better. Let's see, on to the next area. Now that eighth grade and seventh grade are finally done, we come on to actually before we get done with eighth grade, we would end up taking a trip to Disneyland. You know, fun, the castle and such. I don't know how to draw a castle. Actually, give me one second. I can make a castle, but it's not gonna be the one from Disney because I can't make that. Right, and then the town goes right here. Alright, well, this is my supposed castle. It's really not the greatest, but we take a trip to Disneyland because they decided that we needed to compete, and it wasn't. It was enjoyable. I can give you that. Alright, that's the worst day I've ever made. Let's see. Go to Disneyland. As a bunch of like 13-year-old miniature children, you know. Let's see. This size them up. Nope, not that. That. Let's see. Oh, come on. We're gonna make it so that it's. There we go. That's proper size. You know, make it thin. You know. There you go. That's make like 70 more of those, and that's what the trip was. We had like 70 13-year-olds because they decided yes, we were pretty good for being so small and new. Most of us who had never been in choir before, and they were just like, "Yep, throw you guys in there, you'll do all right." Uh, we ended up getting the total like the first time we performed, we ended up getting the highest like ranking scores. So like if you think about the grading scores in school, every grade on this thing, it'd be like great or excellent. So like G for great, E for excellent, and then like average, and then bad. Like, and then there's like one more here, but we're not gonna talk about that one. This was like 100, and then they're all in groups of um totals for it's 20 points. So if you get into the range, you get the score. And I don't know about any other like classes because I didn't really get to notice them. But for my like junior choir, we got excellent. So this one, and then we got second overall. So I think we did all right. I mean, I think some hiccups here and there, but if we had cleaned those up, I think we might have gotten first. But it was fun nonetheless. After eighth grade, we move on to freshman year. This is when we get a new choir teacher. You know, the first one, it was good, but not eventful. This one wanted us to do all sorts of things. Like he wanted us to do like dance mobs. So like he wanted us to just randomly appear in places and just start dancing. I don't know about that one, but he definitely did try. He definitely did try to do that. And then, as you can tell, my art skills are not the best, but they aren't like awful to the point where it's like insane. Yeah, specifically he wanted to do Thriller. Yeah, appearing in one place and doing Thriller anywhere takes a lot of organization, and freshmen are just not the place to work for us. Like we are miniature. We just got over our miniature stage of being 3 feet tall. And then not only that, he also wanted us to do like, what is it, music videos. So there's that. So let's see, where's our camera? Because he decided that we could do a music video, or we can do music videos, and I didn't. I think it came out exactly as expected, being a mess. We didn't end up like making anything because we didn't really make anything good. But the other thing was like, I guess we did background for a couple like bigger name or like more. I don't know if I'd say big, but like decently known people for stage. Like, uh, we performed with uh, let's see, I don't remember the man, but we had we did a couple songs with him in freshman year, and let's see, I think, give me 1 second and I will draw that logo. Alright, okay, so let's see. It's a face, so, and then, I don't normally draw eyes and such, but we're just gonna make the face. So, this is, there we go. This is for a man named Alex Boye. Uh, we did background for or backup for him. And during one of our concerts at our school. It just was a lot of noise. So when you're backup for someone else, you really can't hear them. So you just have to rely on your ability to be consistent with what you're doing. So after freshman year, we get to sophomore. Sophomore year, I have a lot of interesting classes that want us to do things like poetry out loud, and I will begin to say, oh, why I just dislike this. This is forced labor onto teaching children that we need to present at every possible moment. Now, for one, I don't particularly enjoy presenting, but it is what it is. I've done it too many times to have to hate with it now. I'm better when I'm with like more people. That's why choir is a little bit better than just this. This is like this is literally old fashioned like tomato throwing at stages. Genuinely like tomato throwing at stages. That's how it feels. Right there. Just let's see. There we go. Literally that's how it feels. I did mine, and I think I got like 3 lines down before I just kind of like gave up and just started crying. I I don't know. I was just speaking, and then I I even remembered the lines. I just started crying because it was just too like intense to just like have a bunch of 30 kids look at you while you're also one of them, but you have to speak in front of them and they just stare at you. Like I try to make jokes to get a decent start into any kind of bigger like thing that I'm gonna do. That way, when it comes down to it, I have some ability to keep entertainment, like so that I don't feel like they're against me. But if I don't get that the first time, I kind of just like flop and fail. All right, let's see. We're gonna go on to that. Let's see what's next. We have freshman year. We got sophomore. Sophomore year, the concerts. Let's see. They weren't anything special. Some were more formal, so we all just like dressed up very nicely. In this giant stage. We did have our like I mean, I'll be real. There was like 4 or 5 guys in choir in total. Don't ask why I'm making eyes like that. It's just because I feel like if you make dots, there's not as great as lines. Like, yeah, see? Look at the difference. Alright, that one's just not getting nice. Neither is this one, because there was like all the guys, and then everyone else, everyone else, girl. Nothing against it, just that's how it went. And yet I was still like not the tallest. Like I am only really small, just because that's the way it goes. Now, if it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't like so rough. Like we just had not much time to focus and pay attention. And this sophomore year, we also had gotten a new different teacher because the one we got in sophomore year didn't like the freshman year teacher because he was just too sporadic. He did too many things. He sent us into churches when we didn't really fully know the songs and it was just like sing. And as much as it was like painful and awkward to do, we did it as a team and we did it together. So you know what? If I fail as a team, that's okay. I can take that. If I fail a single person alone, that's when it starts to get a little bit more nerve wracking. Uh, yes, okay. Then we got junior year, so we're moving on. We're moving pretty quick, I think. Junior year. This is when I did not have enough room in my schedule to take choir. So my presentations this year would be for science, because my science teacher was pretty cool and wanted us to make presentations. And I think by this year, I think I was pretty good at my presentations. Uh, well, slideshow presentation. So I made my slideshow. All right, this is not a tutorial this time. This is just a board. I made my slideshow on Isaac Newton, the first one, Isaac Newton. I think it was pretty good. Um, I got people to laugh. It was enjoyable because of the fact that it wasn't intense. It was just in front of people who I already kind of like somewhat knew. So when it came down to it, making that's the wrong line. So when it came down to making actual like presentation on this, it wasn't hard because I knew a lot. Fun fact: Isaac Newton did have a abusive stepfather, which is really interesting because you wouldn't guess, but that was the first one. And then if we just scroll a little bit, second one that I made was on ADD. I didn't think it was so great. It was more full of facts, which isn't like bad. It just wasn't so much entertaining for others because as the disorder is attention deficiency disorder. So I think the audience just kind of like lost the attention. So we move on. We're gonna scroll down a little bit. Move over. Senior year. So this is the last year. Actually, before we go into senior year, we got one giant thing that came in the way at the end of junior year. This COVID, like bug, virus, whatever it's called. I don't know. Um, this coronavirus, COVID virus 19. You know, that's how I'm making it. It's what it is. I'm gonna copy and paste that, and we're gonna move on with life. Like, all right. So we move on from that, and we have. All right, I need to say. So we're just gonna stick this in the corner because forever now, this is life. This is what we deal with for the rest of life. Um. Oh. Did it lose? Like, oh, yeah. When it went small, it kind of just lost all its ability to be able to do anything. we move on to senior year. Senior year, let's see, we got 2 semesters, so we're gonna make 2 blocks, 2 semesters, because that's how um semesters work. You get the first half, you got one S1, and we got S2. Well, with COVID, there goes all of this. This is all at home. It's all at home. So we have a small little house for home, and then all of this at school. Big building, uh, with masks. I don't have anything against masks. I wear them more just out of respect for others. Nothing against them at all. So when it comes down to it, most people complain because they can't breathe or that they have to wear them because yada yada yada. And I just go with it. I just stop caring. It doesn't bother me anymore. Well, with the second semester, so we're gonna back our bug, you know, because we got that, and then you know what? Why not? I'll give it a face mask, just for people, who want coronavirus to have a mask. All right, there you go. It's got a face mask. You guys can calm down. And now that we go into the second semester for senior year, not only did we have another new teacher, this one was like in between very bossy and controlling and ambitious and out there. So like she would be more trying to get us to do things that we wouldn't normally do, the things that wouldn't just be like practice music every day, which is interesting. Um, it was just it was nice. Let's see, what can I say about her? Or what can I draw for her that would be unique? Mm, Well, either way, it still ended up coming down to it. This would be my last year in choir for high school because it'd be my last year in high school. And by this time, I was the only person who had been there since uh, junior high. And it's weird seeing so many different people from when you started to see this would be me, And then, we're gonna go on to, I don't know, I guess we make him Greg because that'd be my friend who just kind of left a long time ago in choir, just didn't decide to stay after a while. And then I guess all the new faces can be blue, because we need to add some color. I can't all be black. And most of these newer people were freshmen and sophomores, so I can't blame them for being chaotic. They just are. And yeah, just imagine that the rest of it's filled up because, like, I would be the only one who had been there for long enough that I had kind of. I mean, I supposedly should have known most of them, but like, since they're all new, it's I would be longer staying than even the teacher there that is there. Like, I had been there longer than anyone else, and I think by this time we had down to 3 boys instead of 5, so we were really diminishing in number. Like we were a choir of 22 by the end of senior year, so that sucks. Our concerts, as I said, they were more of a mix. So imagine like you're on a stage. So this is the stage. We had 3 different choirs. We had a women's choir. So we're just gonna draw them in red, cause yeah, we're just gonna draw them over here. I know we're just gonna be balloons for the rest of the time because it's just easier not to make clicks. All right, and then you have the junior choir, the junior high choir, which we're gonna just make purple because they are an army, and you know, you know, there's too many of them to count. She had 2 whole classes of junior high, and it totaled out to like 70 something students. So I hope that the choir is still being run pretty well because there's quite a bit of I don't know time left in it. Let me draw myself, because this is where I stood. I stood right over here, and then this is my choir. Like it's just high school choir. Basic high school choir. And yeah, I'm just roughing it out because I don't really know the exact numbers of people. And then all these are chairs. Like there's just a bunch of chairs. But I'm gonna make a couple giant chairs because why make small chairs when you can make big chairs? But yeah, nothing. It wasn't crazy. I don't know if you guys know the things that Well, okay, that's a terrible chair. So if you know the what is it? The finger sticks. Let me try to draw one of them. Finger sticks that kind of have a light at the end. So shines light, you know. And then you can like wrap around your finger. Yeah, that's what we had during it, and we had two of them each, and it was just like a star show. Like we were just like flying them up here whenever we needed them. So it was really. I know this is weird, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, that was the end of senior year. And now we're at college. So interesting. So move on to the big place of university, after graduating. So I can give the cap, because why not? And then I think it's like yellow. There we go. Because they kind of, as long as you were doing good, you graduated, and I just fit in that category. Small mini balloon fits in. I know it's a really big cap. Let's see, and then, well, finally being able to go to college. Not particularly a dream of mine, just here because my mom wanted me to go explore and say, hey, you can go and do good things, just don't stay here because it's kind of boring down here. And I could agree. We lived in like a small town, and we had a house, and this house was like in the middle of the desert. And when I mean that, like literally, you can go and see the desert. There's the neighborhood, but like that's like a mile radius, like a couple mile radius, and then anything else just wouldn't fit. We could just see dirt for the next like 40 minutes in a car, and that's like whoa. And then let's see, we're gonna scroll down because I don't do it in a way. And then college. So college, I did one presentation so far. Two if you count the remediation that this is based on, for which is a paper on how I present, and this would be on the just before the U.S. like Civil War. So let's see if I can try drawing the United States. Let's see. All right. Well, that's my attempt at the United States. Don't fight me for it, because I would probably pick your side because it's not that great. Well, yeah, there goes the Civil War. But mostly focused on two colored or people of color, I guess I don't know what's the most proper way to say it right now, but just on them, and they're like they're their one military force unit name, which surprises me that there only was one like force of colored people, because you would think if it gave them the numbers, why not just make a whole lot more than just one? But yeah, that's the one presentation that I had, and other than that, that has been presentations that I have had throughout my life and the life of me on stage. So I hope that was eventful, and the one thing that I want you to take away from it is that You should be a little bit respectful. Respect the people that are presenting their talents or their voices, because it is really hard to do, and it's not something a lot of people do because it's so strange and unique. Because not many would really detest trying to do that, or not many people would try to bring their voice out if it's not gonna be heard or respected. So, thank you. That's a terrible way. And have a nice day. There you go.